Well, I think the first thing is I'm going to take this hat off because I don't think I can stand up here and give a serious speech without breaking up. Okay, well, first of all, I'd like to thank President Hargis, the regents, the faculty, and everybody else at OSU for the great honor it is to receive this degree from my alma mater, and for their inviting me here to make these brief remarks. I promise you they're brief. It's very gratifying to be recognized by this great learning institution, which played such an important role in my life and lives of countless graduates, as it will in yours. To tell you the truth, my wife Heidi reminded me that I didn't actually attend my OSU graduation ceremony in May 1960, having been called into the United States Army a few days before for reasons that I can't exactly recall. Something about the Berlin Wall or something like that. So it's doubly great to be actually getting a degree actually given to me by the president. So thank you, Burns. You know, the heaviest thing that hit me during my reminiscences back was that my graduation date was 55 years ago. Imagine, that was the pre-cell phone era, just after the Pleistocene. How did anybody take commencement pictures or text their friends during the speeches? I don't know. Hard to imagine even being able to live like that. Since those days, there have been tremendous changes in every aspect of life, every field of endeavor. But I reflected with some surprise that in 2002, shortly before my own retirement, I was still actively managing the worldwide R&D efforts of the biggest pharmaceutical company in the world, 42 years after graduating from OSU. Now, of course, I learned a couple of things after my Stillwater years, but the fundamental foundation that I received here had obviously served me well over a very long period of time. So now consider this. The training for the degree that you will receive today has given you a much more sophisticated and robust base than anything I got 55 years ago. In other words, you're better prepared than I ever was to handle anything ahead of you for decades to come. You should feel pretty good about yourselves. And of course, there is the bang for the buck factor. I served on the board of governors for Connecticut College for many years. Connecticut College is a small liberal arts college in southeastern Connecticut. And the kids emerging from there are also very well trained. But it costs them over $60,000 a year to get there. Parents and students, you got one hell of a deal here. Schools like Conn College also spend enormous sums in efforts to build diversity on their campuses, purposely importing students from far away and from economically and cultural diverse backgrounds. And yet the college struggles from year to year to actually maintain an actively diverse and functional culture. At OSU, you've rubbed shoulders and interacted with students from all economic strata and ethnic backgrounds, from across the state, across the country, and across the world. And you and your parents didn't have to pay an arm and a leg to have that experience. Another of the great values at OSU is the strength and professionalism of your faculty. Your professors are well-published, nationally and internationally recognized scholars and professionals in their disciplines. A letter of recommendation from an OSU professor in your field can open doors for you in both the academic and business worlds. A letter from my undergraduate mentor very importantly affected my entire career. When my Army tour was over in 1963, I applied to biochemistry departments in graduate schools at Stanford and at the University of Illinois. Professor Robert Cerny from the biochem department of the Ag School here wrote recommendation letters on my behalf. And I was thrilled to be admitted to both universities after having applied by mail only from Germany. Both these faculties knew of Cerny and had high respect for the chemistry degree awarded at OSU. I'm betting that you'll have similar experiences wherever you apply for a job or further training. By the way, from this robe, you can see which university I chose to go to. Go Illini. But out there in the real world, the ugly real-life facts of competition will get in your face very quickly. How will your OSU training stack up against that received by graduates from very highly ranked universities in this country? I'm sure you all well realize that for someone to simply attend a prestigious Ivy League school will be very advantageous for them in getting their foot in the door of many prospective employers and colleges. However, once they do get in, the advantages of Ivy League attendance fade very quickly. Because out there in the real world, it's all about what you can do, not where you went to school. As one piece of evidence, I want you to note this. 70% of Fortune 500 CEOs attended state universities. I can assure you of this. Oklahoma State University graduates can handle competition from anyone from any school. In that same vein, I'll close with this anecdote. I've told it on this campus many times before, but as an old boss of mine used to say, don't stop me if you've heard this one, because I love to tell it. I lived on the East Coast in Connecticut and in New York City for all my career. For the last 10 years of that, I ran the largest R&D force in the pharmaceutical industry. At business and social affairs, new acquaintances would often ask me, well, John, you had this exciting career at Pfizer. Where did you receive your undergraduate degree? MIT, Harvard, or Yale? And I would pause for a second and say, well, I went to Oklahoma State University, but I got a lot of people working for me who went to MIT and Harvard and Yale. I hope that one day you can have a similar experience. It's a lot of fun, and you're certainly ready for it. Thank you.